Hey everybody. Well, today we're going to be doing a seafoam treatment on the 1995 Dodge Ram 1500 with the 5.2 liter V8 engine. I say we're going to be, but in actuality I've already got the seafoam in the engine, so I ain't going to be able to show you the process of doing that, but it ain't rocket science. Get the engine up to normal operating temperature, which this truck definitely is, on account of I just drove home from work, and that's a good 20 miles, so it's up to normal operating temperature for sure. Uh, Once you got it up to normal operating temperature, I poured. Now, the right way, or the proper 3-point treatment for a gas or diesel engine is the third method. A third of this can goes into the gas tank to treat like the fuel injectors, the fuel rail, da 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 da. A third of the can goes into the crankcase oil to clean the inside of the engine out. And that's supposed to remove all the sediment and carbon that's accumulated inside there. Then the last third goes into the induction system, and on this one you would use, as I did, the main vacuum line that goes to the brake booster, which of course is that line right there. Just pull it off the booster with the engine running. The engine RPM will go up. I actually increased the engine RPM additionally because I didn't have another person to help, just by using a stick against the seat to hold the RPMs up to around the 2000 RPM range. Then I poured, and I'm not using the third method here because I ain't going to be planning on changing the oil, and I've actually got another truck, my own truck, that could probably use a seafoam treatment into the induction system too. So I actually haven't done the three-way method on this truck. I'm going to treat the induction system on this truck and then the induction system on mine on another video. So anyway, basically what I've done was I poured about half, thereabout, pretty close, into the glass jar, got the engine running, pulled the vacuum line off of the brake booster there, and then with the engine RPMs up around the 2 grand range, I dipped the hose into the glass jar, which I had set somewhere like that. Just dipped it into the jar a little at a time, slurp up some seafoam, pull it out, dip it in, slurp up a little more, just keep doing that till it's all in, and then reconnect the hose and shut her down. Okay, so that's what I've already done. Now, the can says to let the seafoam treatment set at least 5 minutes, and I know you're not going to be able to get any of this unless you got a really good screen, but when used in fuel-on vacuum or induction system, helps clean valves, pistons due to deposit buildup, yada 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 yada. Find the vacuum that services all cylinders, and to the best of my knowledge, that's going to be the vacuum line going off of the brake booster. So the seafoam is in. I usually give it on these high mileage trucks about 15 minutes to set. I actually started getting some smoke out of the tailpipe during the treatment method, and that's probably normal. I've seafoamed in the past on a variety of different vehicles, and usually I get pretty good results, and by that I mean engine performance usually improves a bit once the seafoam has gone through its steps and so on and so forth, and it increases it. Now, in case anybody out there doesn't know what seafoam is supposed to do, it cleans carbon, basically. Cleans carbon out of the induction system. High mileage engines are prone to carbon buildup and the accumulation of carbon polyps. This truck has, right now as it sits in my driveway, 282,505 miles exactly. That's exactly what the odometer reads. And this is, to the best of my knowledge, the factory engine. So, just shy of 300,000 miles. I can imagine if this thing's never been tore down or cleaned or treated, it's probably got a fair amount of carbon in there, And carbon can do some bad things. Excessive carbon buildup on your pistons and valves can increase your compression, which can affect performance and cause all kinds of knocks and pinging and things of that nature. Carbon can actually wick away or suck away the fuel from the air-fuel mixture, and that could cause a lean fuel trim. Of course, you got to have a lot of carbon to do that. I've had excessive carbon on engines. Carbon actually gets really, really hot and glows like an ember in a wood stove, and that causes pre-ignition, and that's counterintuitive to what your engine wants and needs. It can actually damage the engine. On fuel injected engines, it doesn't really apply so much to the next one. Carbureted engines, definitely it does. Dieseling, because on a fuel injected engine, when you shut her down, you're actually shutting down the injection system as well as the ignition system. So unless your injectors are shot, you're not going to get fuel into the system, and even if the injectors are shot, you won't get much. Carburetors, on the other hand, you shut the ignition switch off, you basically are just killing the ignition system. It can still draw fuel through the carburetor. So if that's happening and you've got ignition source in the form of glowing carbon, you've got a dieseling engine. So, okay. All that being said, this has got 282,505 miles, and we are at 16 minutes since I induced the seafoam into the induction system of this. So we're going to set the camera up and get a tailpipe shot here. I had a pretty good little cloud coming out. So, and I don't know with seafoam if the amount of smoke you receive is a factor of, well, I'm going to have to turn the brick around here. Okay. I don't know if the amount of smoke you receive is a factor of how much carbon is in the engine, or if it's just the cleaning product itself that's causing the plume. But we're going to start it up and rev it up and see if we get a smoke show here. See what happens. Still smoking. Gonna have to rev it up a little bit more and then take it out for a test drive to burn it out. But hopefully that'll clear out the engine some. Let's give it a little bit more rev action. Smoking out Westville. Sweet! Well, she's starting to clear out. And I don't have a cameraman to ride with me as I go, so this is where we're going to call it quits. I'm going to take a trip around town to really get her going and burn some of that out. And then here in the next day or two, I'll get my Ford in here and we'll get some smoky seafoam action out of her. So, thanks for watching, and sorry about the anemic sounding exhaust. Not my truck. My Ford sounds better. I've got glass packs on my Ford. This is a single pipe with a factory style muffler, and it just sounds anemic. There is no heart for the Dodge. It doesn't sound happy, but maybe it'll sound cleaner now, a little cleaner on the inside. Alright, thanks for watching. Comments welcome. Peace out.